Hello there guys, and welcome back to another video with myself, Foorun. Now today we're going to be taking a look at what is coming in the update on the 21st of July 2016. So we're going to start off here today with some changes to projectiles. Now projectile velocity is no longer randomized, so it will no longer cause random damage. Damage will fall off linearly with distance after an initial max damage distance, meaning that for a certain amount of time there will be max damage, and then after that point has been reached, or that distance has been reached, even not the time, it will then, the damage will fall off linearly, so it will slowly slope off until it reaches a point where it does either minimum damage or no damage. Now weapons and weapon modifications can adjust the projectile damage, the distance and the velocity each separately, so they may not all affect every single one of those things, but each or different modifications will adjust those things differently. So that is one to look into, or you will get some slight changes now when using different weapon mods, which is a great thing. It's going to add a lot more it's going to make things slightly different in the game. People aren't going to be going for that clear-cut better thing. Now, if you're going to want more damage, you're going to go for one thing. If you're going to want better distance, you'll go for another. And if you want better velocity, you'll go for another thing. So it's going to mix things up a hell of a lot. The next thing I've got for you guys is keeping in line with the weapons. It is now that arrow damage is its own type. It's no longer the same type as bullets. So it's going to change things slightly, and maybe we'll see some other differentials coming into play in the future. But what I've got for you so far is arrows have their standard damage. The arrow headshot multiplier is 1.5 to maintain the one-shot kill headshot with no head protection. So I don't know whether we're going to start seeing more headshots, one-hit kills from bows, but it should still be like that with a crossbow. And alongside that, we also have no damage now from bows or crossbows. When you're using an arrow and shooting at a building or any other structure, you'll get no damage from an arrow. So there will be no longer arrow raids. And when you're building in Twig, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder to destroy that. So typically, with a crossbow, shoot one arrow at this foundation and it would break. It's no longer the way. No damage at all. Same with the bow. No damage. Now looking at stuff concerning the XP system, we have a lot of things that have had their XP rates increased, or their max XP increased, which generally means that you'll be getting a bit more experience in the early game. The diminishing stuff still happens, so later on you'll still be getting a decent amount of experience, so that it's not quite so much of a long leveling system, and it won't take you as long to get to the end, and you won't feel so grindy come the end, because the XP that you'll be getting still will be somewhat decent. I'm not going to go into that in too much detail. It's generally just going to make the leveling system a bit more forgiving and a little bit easier on you guys. The ownership share in items as well has been increased. If you provide the resources, you will then own 50% of the item at the end. So if somebody uses your resources to create an item, you will own 50% of that item. They've also changed the way that barrel experience is working, so you will only be awarded experience if you are nearby. You will no longer be able to stand at a distance and snipe barrels and gain experience for it. Trash piles are also refreshing their contents and the experience twice as fast, so that'll be a lot better for a load of people, especially in the early game when you're needing those little bumps in experience and you need the food and the water quite a lot more. The weapon laser sight now unlocks at level 24, down from level 25. And the auto turret now unlocks at level 18, down from level 24. Plus you can now find parts in rad towns or monuments, but that is very rare. So you'll be able to get the targeting computer and the CCTV camera from rad towns and monuments, or whatever you want to call them, but they will be extremely rare items. High-end weapons from rad towns and monuments will also be found a lot less. You will also now find that items can be no longer placed into trash piles or loot boxes. Now this is fixing an issue where people have been putting stuff in there such as tools to get others to farm experience for them, but it's been bugging them out and stopping them from respawning. So this is fixing that issue and stopping people from preying on other people that don't necessarily want to farm experience for them. And I'm just going to quickly run through a couple of item changes which aren't really that big, but it is useful to know the information. So wood doors are much more vulnerable to explosives. Low grade fuel now keeps lights lit longer. The mid and high end melee weapons cost has been reduced by a significant amount. Small stashes now only cost 10 cloth. Road sign armor is now more expensive. That is the jacket and the leggings. And the town sign cost has been decreased as well. Now another significant change in regards to weapons that I didn't touch on earlier is that the crossbow deploy animation has been extended. Much like the pipe shotguns was a little while ago, this has now happened to the crossbows because a lot of people have been getting headshot by people just whipping out a crossbow quickly, and you can kill even a full geared person with a crossbow. Now if we just take a quick look at this, this is pulling it out when it's not loaded. Comes out at the same speed as it always has. And now if we switch over to the one that has an arrow in it, it takes a lot longer to get it out. Alongside this change, you also can no longer sprint while reloading the crossbow. Now slows you back down to a walking pace. And then the last thing I have to touch on about weapons is the buckshot shotgun ammo. The headshot multiplier has been increased to 1.25, so you'll get slightly more damage when you're hitting in the head with buckshot. And now we have a really nice change that's going to help a lot of people out, because this has really been annoying me recently. So if you have a little box like this and you want to put your tool cupboard in there, it's been a bit buggy and you can't put it too close to the walls. But now this has been fixed, so now you can put it right up against the wall if that is where you want it. You can get it right in the corner there, and then you can make use of the rest of that room. You don't have to have a cupboard sat in the middle of a 1x1 just wasting all of the space. So the last thing I have for you guys today is the music system. Now I don't know how this is originally intended to be put into the game. I can imagine that once it's fully done we'll have some sort of UI to actually work it. But we can access it by going into the F1 console. So if we load up the F1 console and we type in music.enabled space true, hit enter, and there we go, we now have the music. Likewise, to turn it off we need to type in music.enabled space false, and then it'll take a couple of seconds to turn off. I will also leave a couple of links in the description for some of the improved graphics that Peter's been working on, because he's put out a couple of small videos over the past couple days and it looks absolutely amazing, but you need to go and really take a look at it for yourself. I was going to show it in the video, but I wasn't sure whether I was able to, so I didn't go ahead and do it. So I'll leave the links in the description. Make sure you go and check them out. Now, if you would like to see more content, including my weekly update videos, then please do make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you have enjoyed this video, then please do hit that like button. It really, really makes me feel good about these videos. Makes you know that you guys are enjoying them. And that is it from me then, guys. Have a good day.